Welcome to How I Generate It, where I talk to AI video creators and filmmakers to understand their process, their inspiration, and of course, how they generate it. Today, my guest is Chen Effective. I first encountered Chen in Pika's Discord server, where he had shared a really cool video right after Pika 1.0 was released. You know, there's two different kinds of morphing video. One is accidental and one is intentional. And Chen is really good at the intentional morphing videos using tools like Pika. We'll talk a little bit more about that specific video a little bit later, but for now, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Here's my interview with Chen Effective. I am happy to have Chen Effective on the show today. Chen Effective, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
It's great having you here. And I know you started doing, your background is more in like music production and producing music. So what got you interested in AI?
Basically, since a little kid, I was always interested in cartoons, in animations, and I'm drawing myself, and I'm sculpting a little bit, and I love art in general. But how I came to AI, I wanted to make first some covers, photos for my music, then maybe to make some clips for my music. But at first, I was only learning Midjourney and After Effects. And then when I wanted to make something for After Effects, and then I discovered Pika Labs. And when
Yeah.
I start to use Pika for only for how I say it, to see how it looks my pictures in animation before I start to animate in After Effects. And after I see
Mhm.
what Pika does with my photos, I say I don't need After Effects. I will animate only on Pika or platforms like that.
It's really interesting to hear that you started with After Effects and then realizing like, you know what, I actually like the way this is working more in these newer tools. Cause I think a lot of people feel the other way of like, well, this does cool stuff, but I can do a lot more in After Effects. I have more control over like these kind of details. What was the thing that drew you to Pika versus After Effects?
The first time that I see video generation is only when Runway started. It was not
Hmm.
so, not wow. But it was cool, but not wow. And then after I started again to see Pika, and I see the huge amount of progress, and it's like I cannot compare with After Effects, because in After Effects you do specific stuff that you need for production, but when we talk about movement of the person, for example, it's not the same. I cannot move it naturally like Pika does, or a Hyper, or a Runway, like it's actually a real person there and moving. So in After Effects, you can do post production or effects to add to the animation of Pico or something like that, because there's stuff you just cannot do on After Effects or any other program. Maybe only Unreal Engine and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because it sounds like the main way you were using After Effects was to try and find ways to animate images that you had created in Midjourney. If you have a great Midjourney image and you want the character to walk down a hallway or something, I'm not even sure how you would do that in After Effects.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not the same. It's not looking the same.
so the video of yours that caught my attention was when Pika 1.0 first came out. They moved out of the Discord server only and they had their own like web interface. When they launched it, they had all
Yeah.
of these other tools where you could extend a clip and you could paint in one area and change an area of something. And I was really excited about it too. It was fun to go in the Discord server and see what other people were posting. And I saw one that you posted called Beast. And I want to just kind of, for people who haven't seen it, I want to walk through it because I think what you did in that was amazing. One of the complaints people have about AI video stuff is like it's only 4 second long clips. You can only do something for really short. And what you did was like it's 1 minute long. This was 5 months ago. This is way before Sora came out with their stuff. So putting it into proper perspective on the timeline of AI innovation. But it was the first one that I'd seen that wasn't done in Stable Diffusion or, a comfy UI workflow or something. It was something that was done with a web-based tool. that had a lot of morphine to it, like where it changes over time, and that it was really long. What gave you the idea to even try that, first of all?
To be honest, it was my first video long on Pika 1.0. I did all my first videos I did in the beta. And my first videos I did always long, but it was not the same extension, because in the old Pika you extend with all final frame. You take the last frame and make a picture again, and then another 3 seconds. But it's not the same, and it's not looking the same. But when Pickup came out with this new extension, this is the first thing that I need to do to see how it works without all these final frame sites or other tools to extend the video. And it just did amazing job. You just know, yes, you need to know the parameters to keep it low so it not morph too much and not be weird. But I after I see what it does, it's like, wow, this is the first thing that I needed to test how long I can keep it, because in beta, when you start to work with the final frame and the last frame, you slowly lost color. The colors
Mhm.
start to change slowly, and you in the end you have like two colors, and that's it. If you see my first video, you will see that the end of the video, it's only blue and yellow. That's it.
Mhm.
So here I see it's like you can extend and it's still remaining the shape and the colors. And it's like, whoa, that's a
Mhm.
different game now. Yes, I love to extend stuff and change to from one thing to another.
Mhm. And I wanna talk a little bit about, like, that last frame, first frame animation style, but I do wanna walk through so if you're for our listeners who maybe haven't seen this video, I watched it again this morning, and I was like, "I'm gonna take notes of what's happening." So imagine, this is a 1-minute long video, and it starts with a wolf on the edge of a cliff, and I think this was one of the original, like, their templates, right? I
I
think the
take it
wolf was
from there.
actually one of the
I take it
original.
from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
take it from there. Yeah, I just did take another retry, and it generate the same but a little bit different. But yes, it's from
Yeah.
there.
So it starts with that wolf on the cliff. The camera's panning around him, but then one of the legs, the front legs of the wolf, lifts up. And as it lifts up, it turns into a human arm. And then the other arm that's on the ground turns into a human hand and arm as well. It's like a hand on the ground now. And then the wolf just kind of turns its head. And while it turns its head, it turns into a human face. And then the body becomes more human, and now all of a sudden it kind of starts to stand up, and the wolf has turned into a man. Like, it's basically like a reverse werewolf, like where it's now transformed into this shirtless man with like long hair and pants. And the cliff that the wolf was on, it's now just a boulder, and the man leaps off the boulder and starts running directly at the camera. And when I first watched this, I was like, "What? Oh my god, I've never seen anything like this." Because we're like 20 seconds in or something at this point. And I'm used to like 3 or 4 second clips. So he's running directly at the camera, and he's turning into a different kind of beast. Every footstep, there's like this explosion of sand, and then the sand is also maybe sand and water. And then you notice, oh, well, there's actually waves crashing all around. And then the beast turns more into a werewolf and still running at the camera. And then it kind of pauses, and you get those, like, Pika sunglasses, which I thought was a really fun, like, way to end it. But it honestly was like I had never seen anything done using a web-based tool like that before, like something that long. I've seen a lot of morphing stuff with Stable Diffusion. The kinds of stuff that you could do, I think, with Stable Diffusion would be pretty amazing. Have you ever looked into Stable Diffusion at all?
To be honest, I try to play. I'm playing around with Comfy UI. Yes, it's not easy because I'm on Mac, and
Yeah,
you have lots of stuff that you need the NVIDIA, and
yeah.
Mac and NVIDIA, it's not working together. So
I'm
I do the simple stuff. I can generate. I can make from picture to picture or from prompt to picture in Comfy UI, but not really a big workflow. I'm learning. It's not
Yeah.
easy. I hope they will do something in the future for to collaborate with Mac and stuff. But for now, yes.
Yeah.
We're using the tools that we can be above the comfy and maybe simpler, like Crea now with the new tool,
Hmm.
the the blending of the pictures and the frames. It's
Yeah.
basically it's a workflow from Comfy UI, but give it to more people to use if they don't know to use Comfy UI and stuff like me.
I want to really quickly go back to the Beast one. There are a lot of people who try to do the longer clips the way you did, like where you take the last frame of a video, a generated video, and then use that as the first frame of the next video. And then you sort of edit those all together. And it sounds like you had been doing some of that, but that you found the extend 4 seconds to work better. Is that right? Did you feel like that was the
Yeah,
Pika's extend 4 seconds works better?
it works better in different ways. It's the most important that see the emotion. If a person walking for 3 seconds and you extend it, he will keep walking. Pika see the motion and he keep going with the motion. If you're using the rest frame, it's like a still picture, and Pika have to figure out what you're trying to do in the picture. Is he standing? Is he walking? So it's not always walking. It's not always. So it's more hard to keep the movement go on. But when you extend it inside of Pika in the with the new tool, so it's just continue it. Anything that
Hmm.
you put it inside, it will continue it like smoothly.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
The other one that has that same kind of like long morphing stuff is the one called Evolution. And that's like
Mm.
it starts. I won't go as detailed in this one, but like it starts. You're underwater, and then you see fish, and the fish turns into a reptile. The reptile turns into a monkey. The monkey turns into a caveman. Then we're in ancient Egypt and Vikings. So there's just like you bring us from the primordial days up until the future, where there's robots and alien life forms. And I thought that was really cool. And you do a lot like with the camera movements too, which, it had that very much of like a stable diffusion kind of vibe where you're looking at something, it changes, and then the camera angle changes too. I could tell you'd been playing around with the tools a little bit more from Beast to Evolution. What were some of the things that you learned
Actually,
making Evolution?
making evolution, it starts every project. It starts as a challenge or in Pika
Mm.
or so, usually in Pika. And then it's just give me some a start of an idea, and then I just keep going and going. With the
Okay.
evolution, I wanted to make like the evolution video, and to see really in this one, I really want to see how push can I get one shot, one big shot, and how uh, I can handle it. And then after I finish it, I just realized that I can do it much better because I did it with the last frames, and I
Mm.
didn't think that I can take the last 3 seconds of the video, put it again inside Pika, and continue. It will continue the same motion and stuff. Just figure out after that. But it was yes, you make 15 seconds, then you put it in last frame, and then you make another 15 seconds, and then you put another less, and then just keep going. But it takes so much retries, really. It just cannot. So much retries in every pick. I love patience. Every AI in general, I love patience. You can generate. You will get what you need, but you need to generate and retry until you. Because for 3 perfect seconds, I need to generate at least between 20 to 100 cuts
Oh,
to choose my perfect 3 seconds. Only like that. After, if not, it will not look like that.
yeah.
It's for sure.
And are you doing these all in Pico 1.0, or are you kind of going back and forth between Discord and Pico 1.0?
No, no. I'm not using now Pika Discord. I use the only 1.0. And but it started in the start. I was using only Pika, and then I start to help with with Runway because they have the brushes. That
Hmm.
sometimes you need the brushes. You cannot handle without. And I love Hyper too. Actually, it's not bad. It's really good for stuff and even consistent stuff too. But Pika is my like I started there. I know like every corner inside for now. Well, not for
Yeah.
now.
You mentioned the daily challenge. I know like you put out a lot of videos on your YouTube, and it sounds like a lot of them are from the daily challenge or the weekly challenges maybe in Pika.
Yeah.
It seems like you're really part of the Discord community there and being involved. What's the big thing that you like the most about the Pika Discord community?
I tell you, I started because I was um, after the COVID started. I have I was without a job, and then after that, I was some surgeries. I was left months in home without working. Then the war started, so I have like really long time. I didn't work, and I was 24/7 inside Discord. 24/7. I tell you, I was sometimes forgetting to eat and sleep. I was losing like I lost in 2 months like 10 kilos or something like that because I cannot control when I create. I forget everything. So inside of Discord of Pika, I see it was early. It more a beginning of them. It not really beginning, but it was not so much people there, and I see what people do, and I love that people talk when they find out something new and share. And I found out, and people asking me how you do this and how you do that, and I just love to talk about art in general. So I love the community, and I had like a lot of time to be there. Now I just a little bit less because I start to work a little bit, and have no much time for too much hang out there. But this is how I start. I just was there 24/7, and people always talk, and I love to talk with them too. It was really fun. And the crew is really good. I love the crew too. They're really good people.
Yeah, that was the one thing I really noticed about Pika early on was like they threw so much into the community with those daily challenges and just with being very responsive to people, helping out, pointing people to the right resources and stuff like that. If you have questions, you can talk to other people who have those same questions and figured it out. So it's great that you're in there and helping other people and that you're also there and learning from other people. Your collaboration with someone, I forget the person's name. If you could kind of explain how the collaboration started and then what the video was, like what you were given and what you did with it.
It's actually a friend of mine that I met in Discord, and we start to chat. And he showed me this video clip that he make. He started to learn Blender a little bit, and he showed me this car with music. And I just love how he make the car, and he say yes, it was experiment he did in Blender. And without asking first, I just download the video. It take a few seconds and put in Pika just for myself. And then I see how it react, and I say, bro, let's make a video. It start with Blender, 100% Blender. I just take the whole code that he make and just extend it. After a few seconds, I extended it, and it starts to become Pika, and the car starts to be transformed into transformer in the end. And this is how this project born. It's actually need to do more like this. Yes.
Yeah. And so the transformer that showed up, was that something that he had created in Blender or is that something that you were able to
No,
generate in Pika?
it it's Pika. It's I
Wow.
he's his part that car is driving. The camera is going around the car, and then the camera stops in front of the car, and from that it's Pika. The car is just riding forward and slowly transform into transformer. This
Wow.
is all Pika.
That's really impressive. I was wondering, like, because I saw it was a collaboration. I was wondering if you had done something with last frame, first frame, with a car and with a transformer, and I was really curious. But it's really impressive that you had done all of that from the beginning of the car to the transformer, all in Pika. So very cool project, cool collaboration.
Thank you. Pika is actually always surprising me. This is why I love it. It's always
Yeah.
surprise.
A lot of people who might be listening to this would say, like, how do you not run out of credits? Are you part of their creative, do they have a creative partners program or something that you may have been
I
be
wish,
part of?
I wish. But no, I started at first with the Pro plan, and because only at the Pro plan you can have unlimited generations. And
Oh,
then they
okay.
make a better plan. They did the unlimited plan. It's the middle one. It's
Hmm.
something like $35 a month, and you have unlimited
Uh-huh.
in chill generation, but it's unlimited. So otherwise, I will lost every one of my credits in the first day if I don't have this plan.
That's what it sounds like. And 35, like for some people, that's like, that seems like a lot of money. But for other people, it's like, you look at what you pay for streaming services or music services and things like that. And I think it sounds like for you, I bet you don't even have time to watch streaming services, like to watch movies anymore, because it's like, it sounds like you're just spending, I think this is something
Actually,
a lot of people are doing. They just spend so much time in generating AI that they don't do social media or watch things anymore.
yeah, I tell you, I don't have much time to see nothing. And yes, it's not that it's not expensive. It's a little bit expensive, but if you see the other stuff that you pay in life, it's and this is what you love. Some people love just to buy stuff for their car, and they only spend money for the car, and that's it. But this is what I love. I love art. I make a little bit money maybe from this here and there, but most of my life I just spend money on art like a crazy
Hmm.
one. Sometimes I not understand myself, but this is me. I'll just love art, and as long it not hurting me in my life, and not not I not have to choose between it or do art. Yes, it's okay.
Yeah. And it sounds like this kind of AI came across your life at the exact right time where you needed a creative output. And I feel like you can be endlessly creative with generative AI. I know you were doing music, and I want to talk to you really quickly too about some of the music things like Suno.
Yeah.
What has it been like to be a music producer to now be like looking at AI generated music?
At first, when I heard about AI music, when I before I started to use AI, yes, it sounds a little bit weird, especially for singers and people like that. But after I started to use it, and I see that sometimes you have like a creative block, and these kind of tools can spark idea. You don't have to use them. You can use them. I love to use them and make my own layers on top. If I can make, I will do that. And in the end, you like building layers on top of the AI, and in the end, you can just erase the AI, and you're left with your own stuff. But that I don't know. I love it. It's really opened your creativity, and I don't always have the idea to write music, and it really helped, especially now with how it's become. Whoa, and it's
Yeah.
like whoa, crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It seems like it can really let you experiment quickly and try different styles and try different things. And when you're creative, it seems like that's what you want to do. Is like find a way to express yourself, and you connect with something at some point and say, yeah, this is the direction I'm going to go with this. And now you've got a tool that you can create with, a new tool that you can create with.
Yeah, especially that you don't have budgets for to
Hmm.
bring some singers or other players. It's really good. It's in general AI. It's like for simple people that want to create, but they don't have all these studios with money. Why not?
Hmm.
It's this is how it's supposed to be. You don't have to limit people because they don't have money or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I like about it too. Is like I feel it has the potential, at least, to really open up who can create really cool high end music videos or movie trailers, whatever it would be. The the tools of production aren't like the barrier anymore. Because, like you said, for $35, you can have unlimited video generations. I forget what it is for Suno, but for 15 or so, like around $20, you can generate music. So it seems like that's still a barrier for some people, but I feel like when you
Yeah,
compare the costs for other things, it really opens the door for a lot more people to get in this like world of creativity that they weren't
yeah,
able to before AI.
especially if you want to do it professionally and you're trying to do it professionally, at first you have to spend before you earn. It's always
Mhm.
like that. If you really
Mhm.
want it, you need to spend a little bit at first. In 1 month, I realized that I have so much subscriptions that I start to delete half of them. Yes, it's too much
Mhm.
because it's $5 here, $5 there, 10 here, 10 there, 30 there. And at first, when I was paying $70 for Pika, it was whoa, too much.
Mhm.
And then yes, and now I have my 3 or 4 subscription, and that's it. For now, it's
Yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah,
I feel like that the key to a lot of that, you mentioned Hyper too, which I believe they're still free. I feel like when a lot of these
yeah,
tools come out for the first little bit, they're free while they're trying to figure things out and grow a user base, and then they switch to paid plans. So I feel like that's a thing to look out for a lot of people too, is like see what tools are out there that are brand new that you can use for free, for a month or however long it is until they switch over.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you that they are keeping their beta versions free. So if you
Mhm.
don't have, you cannot pay on Pika, I can use Pika beta even now and do crazy stuff. You just need to know the parameters and how it works. You don't have to pay for if you cannot. I think only maybe Runway now it's don't have the free version of them in anywhere.
Mhm.
But I think Hyper and Pika will continue to be free in beta. Yes, you have the logo, but still
Mhm.
you have the same quality of the video.
I want to ask you one other question that this comes from people commenting on my YouTube. I think some people get into this and they want to create a video and they want it to go like really big and really viral or whatever. When you spend a lot of time generating a video and you want to reach a big audience and it doesn't hit the views, what's the thing that like motivates you? Or is that even part of your, what motivates you?
I try to see how it works, all this view stuff, because I know if you don't have a channel that reach at least 1,000 views, the
Mhm.
views are slow at first. After
Mhm.
1,000 subscriptions, it start to go better. The stories is really good for this. I noticed because if I upload a video in the channel in the regular way, I can have maybe 100 and something, maybe less. But when you put in story every few days, it's like at least 10 times more views. I don't know why, but in stories, it's much more. And then
Mhm.
you can like play a little bit in story and then little bit in the regular channel. And then like that. But motivates me when I see other people do
Mhm.
stuff. I just motivated by watching others that
Yeah.
motivate others. Yeah, it was not my plan to open a channel and to start. I see. Let's see what happened. I will
Mhm.
because I'm making videos anyway. Let's see if it work. It work. I'm not crying if it's not working with the views.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more about the creativity, I imagine, than the views. The views are nice, but it seems like the views are like a way of sharing it, maybe. You want to share
Yes,
it with them.
if you keep doing it like every few days, it will work. After first 1,000, it will work.
Mhm.
I hope soon I will reach, and let's see. I will tell you for sure if it's
Yeah.
working.
That's great. Is there any advice that you might give someone who might just be starting out? Anything like that?
Advice, yes, I always have advice. It's first of all, patience. In anything, patience. Don't rush to end because sometimes I rush too. But don't rush. If you see something that almost good, it's almost good. try a little bit more, it will be better. And eh, about the maybe about the generations, it's always if you have the option of the choosing the speed of the parameter of the generation, you know, the motion speed and stuff like, and the consistency, always on the low. It will not fall apart when you try to extend or you're trying to make some movement inside of the video. Low parameters, it almost worked. Give it a try a few times and you see it will not fall apart and with not too much blurry and stuff. And just keep experimenting. I just always experiment. I see some new tool. Let's see how it work with other tool, or let's see how it's blend with, with other stuff. Always experiment and be patient.
Yeah, that's great.
And
So I like that advice too about like keeping the motion parameters low, because I think the temptation is like I want there to be a lot of movement in this, and so you'll put those motion parameters really high, and I think that's like you said exactly. That's what I've noticed too. Is
I
that's when
tell you
things
that
just get
I
really
tell
out
you
of
why.
control. Yeah.
I tell you why people doing this. Why they think, because they don't think that after they make the cut, they can make it faster after that. They don't think
Uh,
about that. Be- because when they move slow or walk slow or everything slow, it's not matter. In case that you need, you just keep it slow motion. But if you need faster, you you just make it. Yes, it maybe will be a shorter, but it will be faster.
So
So
that's
it's
that's a good tip
and if
too. Yeah. So you're generating it with a lower motion parameter, and then you're getting slow motion. But then when you extend all of those to 15 seconds and then to a minute or whatever, then you'll speed that up and it happens more quickly. Is that what you're saying?
exactly, yes,
Oh,
if you just use the part that it looks very good, and that's it. You don't need all the 50 seconds that everything that happened. You just need what you need, and that's it.
that's
And I
great.
always, if I generate stuff and that I not need them, I keep them. Maybe later I will need, because if you see something not perfect, in some other case it will be perfect.
Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you. I love that you're very experimental and very creative, and it would be great to check in with you somewhere down the future too, and just see like what new tools are you using, and hopefully they'll figure out this stable diffusion thing on Macs, and we'll be able to play around
Oh,
with that someday too.
thank
Um,
you so much. It was really really fun to talk about all this stuff, and thank you for having me. It was really
yeah,
really good, and I
and
will enjoy to hear your next podcast.
yeah. And where can
Yeah,
people
with
find you? I'm going to put links to all of them as well in the description. But where are you at besides YouTube?
the best place is YouTube because all the videos is there, and in TikTok.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you so much.
thank you again for listening. If you enjoy conversations with AI creators like this, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, keep generating.